Good morning on another frosty morning, and starting off with some sunshine on a Tuesday. I'm Rod Hill.
I'm Chris McGinnis. We started the year counting how few frosty days we've had, and now we're
March.
we can literally see spring almost, not quite in the 7-day forecast, not quite, and we're just stringing together these sub-freezing mornings.
Cold nights. And a reminder, ballpark figure: the average final freeze out at PDX is the end of this month. March 31, April 1. The average final freeze for places like McMinnville and Salem and Hillsborough and up in Battleground, where you tend to be colder at night, is roughly around the 1st of May. And of course, the record book carries on some freezing temps longer, but we're getting close to the end of the freezing season in the coming weeks.
We are, before we get to this weekend. So we'll talk about, let's talk about that in a second. First off, okay, so this is a little segment we call Weather Extra. If you've been with us for the last couple of weeks, you've maybe been following along. That's what we do. Rod and I here discuss weather topics and anything else that you want to put on our Facebook pages and email us. And of course, we like to start with a little trivia. And I love the stump Rod. Yeah, what do we have? I never know what you're going to have. So this is, I'm going to start off with the big, beautiful photo of a spectacular lighthouse. This from Tin Pham, who tagged MyKGW on our Instagram page. His Instagram account, by the way, is SN_imagery. I reached out to him and I said, hey, can you send us that full high-res version? So there it is. So the question this morning, as we look at that beautiful shot, is... Name this lighthouse.
I knew that was a question.
So,
pretty, wow.
Thank you, Tin, for your contribution. And here we go. So is it the Cape Disappointment Lighthouse? Is it the Willapa Bay Lighthouse? Or is it the North Head Lighthouse? And I guess a big hint to all of those would be that this is in Southwest Washington. Aha. So there's your first hint. And we can sit and stew on that for a few minutes. All right. Why don't we talk a little weather, and then we'll come back to it.
All right, we shall. Well, beautiful morning underway. I hope you got a chance to see the supermoon. I know when I looked out last night, about 2:30 when I got up, it was really bright. Really bright.
And in the middle of the night, it's high, so it doesn't look. I have seen some spectacular photos on our Instagram page. If you want to follow, just go look for the hashtag MyKGW. And you'll see just the big, bright moon or colorful moon on the horizon. When
it was rising last evening.
I think now we're taping this now at about 7:45 in the morning, so the moon's going to be going down just after this, but the sun will already be up, so it won't be quite as spectacular at noon set this morning.
I'm going to say in terms of brightness, when it was high in the sky this morning, that was about as bright of a full moon as I've ever seen. It was really something.
And we've got two more, as we mentioned, two more quote-unquote full supermoons coming up in April and May. I think the April moon, excuse me, is the 8th, and then the May moon is going to be the 7th.
So that's coming up.
Coming up, 2 more months of supermoons.
Let's get you to live sky camera. I love this one. This was early this morning, Cannon Beach. Boy, that's pretty. And even near freezing at the coast. And whenever the coast is basically as cold as a valley, that tells you a couple things. Winds are typically calm, and typically everybody's pretty clear. And that's the case out there this morning. So we get back up to 57. Yesterday's high actually jumped to, was it 58? I think I wrote that down. 58 degrees at PDX yesterday, 57 today. We actually have some clouds coming in overnight tonight and tomorrow morning with a system that primarily brushes us to the north. Depending on the depth of those clouds, maybe there's some traces of moisture drip out of them, but then Wednesday afternoon clears out. Thursday still looks great. I've lowered the high from 62 to 58. And now both the GFS American model and the European model love that Friday cold front coming in. Developing rain during the day, a wet Friday night, numerous showers for a wet Saturday because the snow levels really drop. You would assume we'll have some hail mixed in. And if the snow levels get down about 1,000 feet, there could even be some grapple, which is kind of a mixture of ice pellets and snowflakes, whereas liquid raindrops just kind of tend to freeze up, and then the European model keeps scattered shower chances at least alive Saturday night and Sunday while the American model dries us out. But if we would have showers Saturday night and Sunday morning, with some breaks in the cloud cover and the temperatures drop to freezing, I mean, gosh, stranger things have happened. Some of us could wake up with at least some coverage of white on the ground.
The Shamrock Run is Sunday morning, by the way.
Are you running?
No, you're not. I'm still gimpy, so I'm not going to run this year. But that'll be an extra. So what is? There's been some cold mornings out there, but I do remember one. I want to say 2012. I was going up by OHSU, and we did have some snowflakes in the air at that morning. So it
and
has
cold,
happened before.
Does that bother you as a runner if it's in the 30s?
No, it's great.
Doesn't bother you?
Perfect.
No.
You got to warm up a little bit, but it's great. I mean, you got to warm up as in warm up before you get to the starting line, but then you're generating a lot of heat when you're racing. So
okay, well not as fast as I run. You run fast enough to generate heat.
I'm not running fast at all. Not at the moment, anyway. All right, so back to trivia.
Yeah.
Which lighthouse is this in Southwest Washington? Cape Disappointment, Willapa Bay, or the North Head Lighthouse?
This is embarrassing, but I want to say on the Washington side of the river, eh? I'm going to go Willapa Bay.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Is there a lighthouse in Willapa Bay?
So that's actually a very good question, maybe a trick question. There used to be a lighthouse at Willapa Bay. It washed away.
It washed away?
It eroded, yeah. A little Google research on that. So that's part of the wash away beach, northern Long Beach Peninsula.
Wow.
It's in the same ballpark as Cape Disappointment. It is the North Head Lighthouse. The Cape Disappointment Lighthouse, by the way, has a black ribbon around, a black stripe, and that delineates it a little bit more even.
So
from
North Head.
Yeah.
And have you been to this one yourself, sir?
I have not, but a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
And this is near Cape Disappointment State Park. Actually, I think it may be in Cape Disappointment State Park. So Cape Disappointment's kind of the northern beacon of the Willamette, or excuse me, the Columbia, going out into the Pacific. And then this is a little farther north around the Cape. Hence the North Headland, North Head Lighthouse. So there you go. And thank you, Tin Pham, for sending this photograph in. I mean, it is. We'll take a little closer look at that. Maybe we can take that full. That's worth
going out on.
That's worth going out on. If you've got a photo like that you would like to share with us, please put them on our Facebook pages, or of course you can hashtag us on Instagram, or even better yet, like Tin did. He emailed me the high resolution version. That's really cool, and we're glad to be able to share that with you.
Yeah, all right, have yourself a great Tuesday. Enjoy the sunshine, and we'll talk more about what could be a really surprisingly chilly weekend coming up tomorrow.